is one of the most insane.
Under Committee Rule 9, we will now question witnesses under the 5-minute rule. I will recognize myself for 5 minutes. Mrs. Wynn, you said in your written testimony that as former co-chair of Division I Student Athletic Advisory Committee, you had the opportunity to speak with hundreds of student athletes who expressed fears about what employment status could mean for them and the future of college sports. What were some of the top concerns you heard from your peers?
Thank you for the question. The top concern from the student athletes I've spoken to is the ongoing threat of cutting athletic opportunity for thousands of student athletes to pay for the student athletes that generate the most revenue, which would ultimately create an uneven playing field between the athletes. Another fear is the potential decline in the prioritization of academics. Most student athletes who play in college do not go on to play professionally and choose their schools to pursue academics. We fear becoming employees would put a substantial emphasis on job security through athletic performance over the current academic eligibility-centric model.
Thank you. Mr. Nash, like other college students, student athletes must satisfy certain academic standards to gain admission to their universities and to participate in extracurricular activities, including their sport. If student athletes are deemed to be employees under the National Labor Relations Act, could grade point averages or course credit requirements become subjects of collective bargaining?
Thank you.
Oh, my God!
Chairman Allen, we don't know the answer to that, and nor do the advocates of converting student athletes to employees and attempting to have collective bargaining. It is certainly conceivable that the academic rules that apply to student athletes and how they're enforced, and other rules related to their education and the academic environment would be subjects of bargaining. Those are things that are just simply not present in the professional sports league.
Okay. Could this unionization undermine academic standards? In other words, the young people would prioritize, their work responsibilities over actually getting an education when less than 2% of these young people go on to play in professional sports?
I think the reality of that is probably obvious, right? I think almost certainly if we're talking about what is essentially making the student athletes on these sports as professionals, that's going to be the focus, not academics.
Right. Thank you. Ms. McWilliams-Parker, fewer than 2% of NCAA student athletes turn professional in their respective sports, as I mentioned earlier. What impact would employee status have on ensuring these college athletes can continue to focus further?
Whoa, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, just a second. You're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.